Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to locate the high side and the low side. Now, most of the time everything is color coded. Blue, of course, being low pressure, or the size of the fitting right here tells you if it's high side or low side. There's different sizes. All right, so that's the one. The second one is back on this particular car, back in the corner over here. All right, and you can see this is the low side right here. So the low side is smaller, the high side is larger. So let's connect up and we'll see what the pressures are. Okay, well, now looking at the pressure here. Now obviously if you don't have a machine like this, you can just get the gauges so you can actually check the pressure. But with this pressure in here now, that should be adequate to keep it, to have the AC system turn on. So let's go in the vehicle and we'll start it up and we'll see what happens. Okay, now it's a little noisy, I know that, but as you can see, the gauges actually did not move at all. They stayed exactly where it was before we had the vehicle running. So now the next thing we're going to do is you can hear that cooling fan down there is running. You can hear how loud that is, so we know that the cooling fan is working for the condenser. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look down at the compressor. Let me get something, I'm going to point it out to you. Okay, this, now obviously I'm going to tell you, be careful, don't put your fingers in there because you can lose your fingers if you get caught in that fan belt. So be very careful when you're working down here. But you can see this is the drive belt, and the drive belt is actually turning the outer part of the compressor. So you can see right in here, this is the inner part of the compressor. I don't know if you can see that, but that's not rotating. See how that's standing still? That's not rotating at all. So we have two things going on. Either we have no power going to this wire right here, or we have no ground coming back through this wire over here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to disconnect this connector right here, and we're going to come in here with a test light or a power probe or whatever you have, and we're going to check to see if we have power here, and we're going to check over here to make sure we have a ground over here. So let me grab the power probe and we'll come right back. Okay, so we're going to disconnect this electrical connector right down in here. Okay. Alright, now the way a power probe works is that you have this light here. This will tell you when you have a good ground. It'll turn green when it's a ground, and it'll turn red when it's positive. So we're just going to check in here right now to make sure we have positive. As you can see, it lights up red. That means we have power going to the clutch. And now we're just going to come down over here and we're going to check our ground. And you see how it turns green? We have a good ground to the clutch itself. So we have power and we have ground. The clutch itself should be working. So there is a problem in the clutch. So the first thing we're going to do is we have our machine connected up now. We need to empty out the system. You cannot take the lines off the AC system with it charged. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come over and we're going to discharge the system. So I'll show you how that goes. And we're going to recover what's in there now. So we're going to let it clear out. We're going to let it pump down. And once this pumps out, we'll let this pump out and then we'll come right back. Okay, so now we have the system emptied out. Continue. First thing we're going to do now is we're going to come down here and we need to take that drive belt, or fan belt in this case, off of the compressor. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to come over here to the tensioner right here, and we're going to release the tension on this belt, and we're going to pull the belt off the cars. Okay, so now we just put a ratchet onto the tensioner, and we just pull on it and release the tension on the drive belt. Just push down on it, and then we'll take the belt off the compressor, and we can just let the tensioner go. Just put the belt off to the side like this for now. Disconnect the AC lines right here on top of the compressor. This one and this one. I just want to point this out. There was a clip actually holding this cable to the line. I actually disconnected that to get this out of the way, so that way we can pull this out we can move the lines out of the way and not interfere with that. So we're going to take out this 10 millimeter and this 10 millimeter, and we're going to pull these two lines out. We're going to disconnect that, probably a 13 millimeter here, here, and then there's probably going to be 2 of them on the bottom as well. So we're going to crack these 2 loose, and now once we have them loose, we can take them out. You want to definitely have something that you can put your bolts in so you don't lose them. These should be the same length, but we're going to make sure. Okay, they're the same length, so it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to take the lines out of the way. Just rock them back and forth. And then we can pull it out just like this. Now we're going to put this off to the side for now. If this is going to be disconnected for an extended period of time, put a rag over it so no debris or any foreign matter gets inside it. And we'll take our next line off down the bottom. Same thing, we're just going to rotate it. And we'll pull that up as well. And that's out of the way, and now we're going to put another rag around this one. You may drip a little bit of compressor oil as well. I'm going to get these as far out of the way as I can. Let me just get something to tie these back, and we'll come right back. And this is our AC compressor. This is the failed piece of the compressor, the clutch right here. Usually it's the electronic, the magnetic clutch that goes bad, or one of the wires or something like that. But like I said, we're going to change the entire assembly because it was a lot less expensive doing it that way for her. So, all right, let's grab the new part, and we're going to continue. Okay, so we just got our compressor, it came in, and you're going to match up, before you put it on the vehicle, match it up to make sure that everything lines up exactly as it's supposed to. This system here, always check in the box to make sure. This compressor comes with pre-measured oil in it. We don't drain it, we don't adjust it, so the oil level is going to be correct already in this compressor. Okay, now it's a matter of finding out which O-ring we need. Back down where it came out. Now you'll see I put these back in here because I don't want the oil to spill out when I put this compressor back in. So now we're going to put the compressor down in there. I'm going to catch this bolt, and this bolt all by hand. Before I tighten them up, I'm going to make sure all 3 are caught, and then I'll screw them back and tighten them in. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our hoses that we previously disconnected, and we're going to take off this O-ring right here, and we're going to change these O-rings on both of these hoses right now before we put it back together. Again, I always use a scribe because this way I can hook the O-ring and take it out so we don't lose it, so we can match it up with the new O-ring that we need. So let me match this up and we'll put the new one back on there. Okay, so now we have a new O-ring. I have it soaking in oil before you put it back on there. Alright, and now we'll put this back in down the bottom, and then we're going to change the O-ring on the other hose. and just put it on just like that. And now we're going to put these back into the top of the compressor, and then we'll snug them down. Okay, so now we have the line that we're going to catch it in. We put the new O-ring on it, of course, as you remember. We put the line into the top of the compressor, which is catching the bolts in there right now, and then we're going to snug them in place. All right, so I got these two lines are now caught. We're going to plug in our electrical connector right here. We're going to bring it up to the side right here and plug it in. Okay, so we reattached our clip here to hold this out of the way so it doesn't touch into anything. We're going to put our drive belt back on now. But before we put that drive belt on, we're going to start this pumping down into a vacuum. Remember, we got in here with this tool just like this. And put it on here, and then we pulled it. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get the belt on the compressor. As you can see, the drive belt is on the grooves the way it's supposed to be, there, and it's on its underneath here just the way it's supposed to. All of the teeth on the drive belt line up with the grooves on the pulley. Alright, so that's pretty much it. We're all ready to go. Alright, let's pump it into a vacuum and we'll continue. Okay. Alright, so now we have it pumped down into a vacuum. We're going to leave it sit for just a couple of minutes to make sure it doesn't lose anything. And then we'll come back and we'll charge this up. Yeah, let's get this set up. We're going to start this up. Okay, now normal pressure is supposed to be around 30 on the low side and around 200 on the high side. Alright, so that's it. We're all set. Alright, it blows out nice and cool. We are going to put the thermometer inside the vent, and we're going to take it for a test drive just to make sure it's nice and cool. Judging by how it feels coming out of the register right now, I know it's going to be okay. Alright, as always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.